What's up, YouTube? Brian Van Dyne here. Today I got a special treat for you. We are going to install some grease fittings on this strong arm setup. It's very funny. When it came from the factory, it came with only 2 grease fittings on this whole assembly, which is kind of weird to me because there's a whole bunch more pins that don't have grease fittings. So we're going to install them because this strong arm takes a ton of abuse, and we don't want those pins wearing out prematurely. So without further ado, let me show you what types of grease zerks there are, and then we can get into how to install them. Okay, there's a few different type of grease zerks. Hey, what's up, Ryan? Here is an assortment of different types of grease zerks, right? You got some high volume grease zerks, you got some low volume grease zerks, right? It's just, and you got different types. You got angled heads, you got straight heads, you got 90-degree heads. There's a whole different types of assortments. Also, we have the non-threaded types. Come on, focus. Camera doesn't want to focus, but this is a non-threaded type grease zerk. Here, let's do this. There we go. You can see it's not threaded. It's not gonna focus. Come on. There we go. Doing the magnifying thing like we're getting old here. And then you got the threaded types. So those are threaded. This is a non-threaded. First, we're gonna install a non-threaded grease zerk. I've already took the liberty of tapping the hole. The first thing you want to do is you want to make sure that there's not going to be any clearance issues with the grease zerk itself, right? And what that means is if the part's moving, the grease zerk isn't going to get knocked off by something. So this is a drive-in grease zerk. I don't have the tool to do it, so we're going to try a few different ways of doing this. First thing we're going to try is this rubber mallet. If that don't work, then we're going to try a piece of wood and a hammer. If that don't work, then we're just going to try a straight hammer. And we're going to try not to damage the ball bearing that's in there. So that's the main thing. You don't want to damage that because that's what holds the grease in when you pull the connection off of the, I don't even know what this is called. I'm just going to call this the lock and lube. When you pull it off, the grease doesn't come shooting back out, right? It holds it in, keeps water from entering, all that jazz. So we're going to try and see if I got a good spot here for you guys to watch me attempt this. Where the heck am I going to put you guys? I don't know if you guys can even see right there. Okay. You can see right there. Hopefully you don't fall. Looks like you're gonna probably though. Let's just try not to move. Okay, so here's our grease zerk. We got the little hole there. We're gonna try and tap this bad boy in there. That ain't gonna work. Okay, let's just go straight to the hammer. Forget it. We'll just light taps. Looks like it's doing it. Okay, look at that. So now we got our little grease fitting in there. Looks good. It's in there nice and square. So let's try and let's pump some grease through there. See how this thing works. Okay. Seems to be taking grease. It's not coming out around the head or around the lock and lube. Uh-oh, I think I'm out of grease on the grease gun. Yep. Okay, well, it looks like I get to show you guys how to change a grease tube on the DeWalt. Super easy, super efficient. Let's see if we can do this real quick here. All right. Let's set you guys up right there. You guys should be able to see me perfectly. So you pull the cap end off. Set this down somewhere it ain't gonna get grease in it. Okay. And we twist this thing off. Pull this out. Slide this in. Just like that. Pull the cap off. Get the grease off there. Toss that somewhere. And we put this back in. Not tight, just enough where we can bleed some of the pressure out. Then what you do is you take this, you make it straight, you twist it, and you push, right? And what that does is that pushes the air out. Then you twist it back, it goes in, tighten this all the way up. And then also on this DeWalt, there's an additional bleeder valve up here that you can adjust. It's a little too tight right now, so I'm not gonna fumble around with it. But boom, primed that quick. How many of you guys are that lucky on priming a grease gun? All right, let's see if we can get some grease out of this thing. With this particular grease gun, you know it's primed when you hear the and there we go. We got some grease flowing out of it. All right, let's show you guys. Ooh, let's close this so it doesn't get knocked off and spilled everywhere. That would be a nightmare come true. All right, you guys can obviously, grease is starting to come out of there. You can see it. Okay, on to the next one. Okay, the first thing I did was I didn't go straight to this size. I went to the smaller size drill bit first, right, which is right there. So we're gonna do that step again too, just like that. I don't know if you guys can see anything with the sun right there. Let's put this on. Okay. Now we got the drill bit on. Okay, so next, oh, you guys got zoomed in here. There we go. All right, on to the next one. Let's put this one. See if we drill into it right here, we got double thickness to go through. And we can't really drill into it down there. Yeah, we're just gonna have to drill right into that. Okay, so let's see if I can find you guys another. Let's see if that's a good spot. Try and balance you guys. Okay, come on, just balance already. Yeah, you guys aren't going to be able to see this one that good. You can kind of see. All right, let's go get some oil to put on my get overheated. Let's do that real quick. We got our handy dandy oiler. Let's go oil that drill bit. That'll help it cut better, seems like. I've always thought they cut better once they've been oiled. What if I set you guys right there? That's a good spot, then you can see me. So we're just gonna oil this thing. There we go, got some oil on there. Put some oil in that hole too. Alright. Now we're just gonna drill this thing out. Okay, now we're through the first layer of that metal. Now we got to go through all the way to the pin. You'll know when you hit the pin because the pin is hardened steel. And the drill bit, there we go, we're there. Okay. We want to make sure we get all of the metal particles out of there because we don't want to push those into the pin. Okay, we're clean. Next step, go to the next size up drill bit. Alright, because we're doing a 2-stage drill bit here. Using the small drill bit first and then the next size up. I wish there was a good spot where I could set you guys. Let's see if I set you. Love the new wheels. Hey Blake, quick question. Have you found the grease zerks on your disc brakes yet? This drill bit is a little suckier than the other one. That's why I'm doing the 2-stage, because the other drill bit's sharper. Okay, there we go. Okay, got all the metal out of there. Now, tap in the next grease zerk. This should have been done from the factory, really. Really should have been done from the factory, but, you know, it's just the way it goes. Oops. Come on, baby. Okay, we got her started. Let's flip you guys around so you can see how this thing goes in. You just slightly tap it, just like that. You can tell when it's all the way in when the tone changes when you're hammering on it. You can tell when the tone changes. That's how you know it's all the way in, when the tone changes. Okay, let's put some grease in this bad boy. This one shouldn't take as much because it's a shorter pin. Oh, you seeing grease yet? No grease yet. Oh, there we go. We got some coming out down here. No, we didn't get any coming out the other side, but that's all right. It'll work its way in there. It'll work its way in. Okay. Next one. Let's go to the other side. We gotta change drill bits real quick back to the small one. This drill right here is amazing, right? I'm gonna put a link in the description after this is published for this drill and for that grease gun. Let me explain to you why these are really good products. These are good tools. Let me just explain that to you. Give me a second here. This drill, I've had battery drills before. This one is by far my favorite battery drill. So the best way to tighten the drill bit is just you don't even have to press it. You just tighten it just like that, which is sweet. Most drill bits, you hold this and pull the trigger, right? This thing will literally take your skin off. That's how much torque it has. You will not be able to stop this thing with your hand. It'll just sand your skin off. This light right here, it's got a 20-minute light setting. It's got a 0-minute light setting. This thing is freaking, it rocks, right? It's got the hammer function also. I love this drill. Yeah, I got the red and tacky. I've heard good things about that Schaefer stuff, but I just don't have the money for that. So I just use the red and tacky. There's a... Okay, this one's gonna be another tricky one to film. So we're checking the clearance on this one, right? Obviously there's gonna be plenty of clearance if I put it right here, because it'll, you know, this whole thing folds up, nothing's gonna hit it, right? So we should be good on that. So we're just gonna drill this one right into there, basically. All right, I'm gonna set you guys down because I need 2 hands to do this so I can get some good pressure on that thing. Let's put some more oil on this thing. Whew. We're getting there, guys. We're getting there. This is a hard one to get at because I'm trying to put pressure this way and the leverage isn't really working out for me the best. Almost there. Okay. Whew, we made it. Okay. Alright. Now, repeat the process again. Get our recirc. These ones are so much faster to put in than the thread-on ones. But if you're in a high pressure application, I would recommend the thread-on ones. You know, if it takes a lot of pressure to put the grease circ in, or put grease in, because there's a lot of pressure on the pin. And I mean, like, for example, like kingpins. You know, there's a lot of pressure on those unless you lift up the front of the truck. So it takes a lot of pressure to get the grease in there. Oh, duh. No wonder it's not going in. I gotta use the next step size drill bit. I'm trying to force it in there. Feels stupid. That's probably how OJ felt. All right, let's do this. All right, next size up. Let's grease this. There we go, guys. All right, now we're ready for. Put it back in here. I put it back in. Okay. Now we're ready for it. So what are you guys up to on this fine day? We're just lightly tapping her in, guys. Listen to the tone. Did you hear the tone change? It turns into a lot deeper of a tone once it's been knocked all the way in. Can't stress that enough. Don't want to keep beating on it once it's in, or else you'll damage this top part right here. You don't want to do that. So why is this DeWalt superior to the Milwaukee one? Let me just tell you why. It primes 1,000,000 times faster than the Milwaukee grease gun. My buddy has a Milwaukee grease gun. It does not prime as fast as you guys seen me when I changed that, right? And I didn't even use this additional step to help prime it. I just did the normal steps, right? Another reason this is a superior tool than the Milwaukee one, this actually goes up to 10,000 pounds of PSI. The Milwaukee, I think, only goes up to 9,000, right? I like this thing. It has a clip right here for the grease zerk. Super handy. It keeps this thing from getting everywhere and, you know, getting grease all over everything. You just put it in there and it stays. This right here is a pressure relief. So if you get into a grease zerk that is completely not fillable because it's plugged with something, the grease will pop out of there, right? And you'll hear it basically, and you'll know that the grease zerk isn't going to take any grease. Time to pull it apart and see what the holdup is. All right, let's get this thing. Also, another cool feature with the DeWalt, I just pull the trigger and it goes. The Milwaukee only goes for a certain amount and then it stops, which could be handy, but I like the convenience of just pulling the trigger when I want grease and letting off when I don't, you know? This one's gonna take a lot of grease because it's a big pin. So I'm just looking in there at the pin to see when the grease starts coming out. So check this out. See the grease? You can start to see the grease down in there. See it coming out? You can see the pin. Is that water? Oh, there we go. We got grease on this side. Yeah, that's grease. That's definitely grease. Okay, sweet. We got that one done. We got 3 pins with zerks on them now that we're missing them. Let's see. That one's got it. That one's got it. That one's got it. When I bought this super dump, that grease zerk right there was missing. I had to retap the threads. That was a pain in the butt. That one has a grease zerk from the factory. This one right here does not have a grease zerk on either side of that pin. So I'm trying to figure out if I want to drill right into here. I don't know if that's really plausible or not. That would be a real pain to get at. Let's see, how are we gonna do that one? Basically what the pin is for is it goes like this. The whole axle rocks this way on that one pin. I suppose I could... Yeah, it's really not going to get grease into the center of the pin. What do you guys think? Should we put a grease zerk on that one or not? Let me catch up on these comments. Alright. Let's check out what Joey's saying. Now, what is MacGyver working on? Yeah, haven't looked for them yet. I have not been able to find any grease zerks on the disc brakes, Blake. Sweet, you going to get her tuned. Probably just leave it alone. Red grease, that's good stuff. Congratulations, Blake. Now you're really rolling coal in style. Now you're going to have to get some new sub glasses. That's not a sealed system. No, it's not. Not a sealed system. What's going on? Putting grease zerks in. That's because you have the flex volt battery, all that extra power. Dude, I'm telling you, man. Well, even with the smaller battery, it still kicks butt, man. Dang, I need to upgrade my grease gun. Still using the hand trigger method. Oh my goodness, Wayne. It is a game changer. It is a game changer. Like, it would have taken me easily, like 30 minutes to fill each one of those with a hand pump. Like, dude, it is, it just totally kicks butt, man. I wish I would have bought one sooner. That's how more efficient you're gonna be at greasing. Like, what would have taken you 3 hours to grease something is now gonna take you an hour. Like, it's that much. Dude, I can't say enough good things about the battery. Enough good things about a battery grease gun. Even the air ones, man, are game changers. But the problem with the air ones is the hose drags everywhere. It's always getting caught on stuff. It gets grease all over it and drags grease all over everything. The battery one is a game changer, man. And this is the one I would buy. If I was going to buy another grease gun, I would buy this same exact grease gun every single time. It's pretty expensive, but let me tell you what. It's the best grease gun there is on the market. It's got a lock for the trigger. You can lock the trigger so you can put it in your work box and it won't deploy any grease. It's got a light on the front of it. Let me unlock this thing. Right? It's got this air bleeder. It's got the pressure relief. It's just, this thing just freaking kicks butt. It's the best grease gun on the market. There's no doubt about that. And then this drill, this thing freaking rocks too. I love this drill. Best battery powered hand drill I've ever had in my life. You know? Oh wait, we got 2 more pins here. Okay, let's ooh, see, that's a little tight clearance right in there. Let's see how much that thing sticks up. Okay, so that sticks up like that. And we know that when this thing comes up, these pads rest against that. So if I put one right here, it'd be sitting basically right about there. It shouldn't run into anything. Yeah, let's put one on each side right there for those. Yeah, let's do that. One right there, one right there. Okay, those are our next ones we're doing. What do you... Just so you know, Blake, that ceramic coating ain't gonna last that long. It works, but not on dump trucks. It works on cars pretty good, but dump trucks, man. Put it on the bottom of that pin. Well, that's the problem though. Then it's a pain to get at and you'll forget it. Don't you think? That'd be one that was forgotten. I think I'm just gonna put it on the top. I don't think there's gonna be a clearance issue because I mean there's quite a bit of room there. And if I put it right here, it's gonna be sitting right here. It's not gonna run into anything. It should be good. Should be totally good right there. And then it'll be easy because when I go to grease it, I'll hit the top kingpins. Boom, 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 boom. All right there. Oh, hey, what's up, Nick? Yeah, Pat's a cool guy, man. One of the coolest dump truckers I've ever met. Funny as heck. Love that guy. He actually helped me get started. I spent my first day dump trucking with him. See, there's really 3 spots for a grease zerk on this side because this is one long pin. This one moves, this moves, and the pin, well, does the pin move in that one? The pin doesn't move in this one because it's locked into place with this, I think. Yeah, it's locked into place with this. So the pin only turns on this axis and this axis because this holds the pin still in this side. So each of those are the only parts that need it. If you get what I'm saying, that piece right there holds that pin in place so it doesn't move. So let's go ahead and do those. See if I can set you guys up here without falling. Alright. Let's get the small drill bit in there. Let's get some grease on this thing, or some oil. There we go. Let's grease this, oil this thing again. Boom, there we go. You can tell when it hits that pin because that pin's a lot harder than this other metal. Alright, let's get some oil on this one. Hopefully you guys can see with the sun. It's kind of right there. Boom, there we go. Let's get our, where'd they go? They're on the ground over here. Okay. Let's get our drive-in grease zerk. Sorry. We'll just there we go. Okay. Need to get you some hipper step bits there. I think that's what I got. The step bits. Here, let me show you. The camera's not going to zoom in on it. It's got a step bit on there. At least this one is. It's a DeWalt drill bit, though. Not a hipper. Listen to the tone. Did you hear the tone change? Okay. Let's put some greasing this one. There we go, we got some grease in there. There we go, we definitely got it in there. Okay. Now let's go to this side. Alright. Let's just try this drill bit. Let's try using just this one instead of the small one first. Sorry about that. Let's see, can you guys see what I'm looking at? Yeah, you guys can kind of see. Alright, let's put some oil in there. There we go. Alright, let's get the next jerk ready. There we go. And plus, look how high these are. They are so low. We're not gonna have any clearance issues there with that. There's plenty of room back. That should be perfect. All right, let's grease this one. What's up, Bobby? We're adding some grease zerks to the super dump. Wait for the grease to come out. There we go. You can see her coming out. Pretty good there, both sides. Sweet. I mean, that should have been done from the factory, honestly. They put 2 grease zerks on it. Literally, how hard would it have been for them to just pre-drill those holes before they welded anything up? You know what I mean? Yeah. Yeah, they're better. They don't have any computers. You know? The theory behind strong arm is a better theory, but we don't live in a perfect world. So the theory doesn't work out, right? The theory behind the strong arm is these cylinders are pressurized with nitrogen, right? So what happens is when you go over a hill, the strong arm on the strong arm setup stays pressurized, which causes less damage to the road. The Maxwell, however, it's just hydraulic only, so it goes into one position. When you go over a hill, it lifts off the ground, which causes more damage to the roads, right? But it's a simpler system, so it has less problems, right? So this system, you know, it's definitely a better design, but they need to figure out the kinks, and their quality control sucks. I mean, that's what it really comes down to. You know, the design isn't really better. I think the strong arm design is better. It's a better design. Their quality control sucks balls, and their customer service sucks balls. I mean, that's That's what I think. Yeah. Anyways, we got, let's see, how many grease zerks did we add? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We added 5 grease zerks to this strong arm setup. So that's 5 pins that I just made last 5 years longer. Maybe 10 years longer. Maybe a lifetime longer. Maybe I'll never have to replace those pins now. You know, they just have to be greased regularly. That's the trick, you know. So I just finished greasing this whole dump truck. Don't ask me how many grease zerks are on this thing. I can't even count them all. My skills and numbers don't go up that high. There's just a lot of grease zerks on everything. Alright. So, oh, Bobby, I was going to tell you. I texted you the height of the dump truck. Well, and I think the reason, Bobby, that they're cheaping out on grease zerks is because a lot of guys don't even flip and grease the stuff. You know, so they're like, well, what's the point in putting grease zerks on it if it's not even going to get greased? Yeah, Richard. I mean, you can say that, but, like, I agree. But at the same time, this is something I shouldn't have to be doing when I paid $350,000 for the truck. What'd you have to fix, Blake? What's up, Brian? In Canada? How's Canada treating you? What'd you have to fix already, Blake? And where's that job, Bobby? Where's the job at? The passenger side wiper blade didn't work. What the? Cat makes all their money on parts and service now, so I suspect that's standard across the industry. Yeah. I mean, hot today, my friend. Yeah, I bet it is. What's up, Chaka? Ryobi's trash. Lazy morning. Yeah, I get you. It would have been one of those for me, but I just couldn't sit around. I'm like, oh, you know what? The Super Dump's probably going to have a hard week this week. Might as well just hurry up and grease everything. And I literally greased everything. I greased the kingpins. I greased the S-cams. I greased the slack adjusters. I greased the bed pins. I greased the drive line. I greased the spring hangers. I greased the strong arm. I greased the throwout bearing, the kingpins, all of the, what are they called? The torsion bars with the ball joint ones. I greased everything on this thing, man. Everything that can be greased got greased, including me. But not as much, though, as I would have had I, you know, had a different grease gun. It needs a good pressure wash. Yeah, it does. Definitely needs that. But that ain't gonna happen this week. It's gonna... See, the problem is what you want to do is you want to pressure wash the truck and then you want to grease it. Because what happens is if you grease it and then you pressure wash it, you pull a lot of the grease out of the spots that you just greased. So it's kind of counterproductive. The Super Dump is probably hauling asphalt tomorrow. The Solo is hauling rock on Tuesday. I'm hauling some logs on Monday. And I'm also hauling rocks on Monday with my Solo. Like, I had to tighten up and add bolts to my W990 when it was new. It wasn't a Kenworth issue. I think the body company forgot a few things. Plus, the new grease will push the water out. Exactly, Kevin. Exactly. You want to pressure wash before. And that's another thing I wanted to touch on in this live stream while we're talking about grease zerks and stuff. if when you go to buy an old dump truck, bring a grease gun with you. Bring a grease gun with you and hit the zerks. If rusty water comes out, then you know it hasn't been greased in a while. Just food for thought right there, guys. Food for thought. If you hit a grease zerk and rusty water comes out, you know it hasn't been hit in a while. You know? So that's definitely something to look for when you're buying an old dump truck too, you know? Something that you learn later on after being in business for a while, and you're like, oh, I must have missed that grease zerk last time, you know? Or you know you didn't hit that grease zerk because you're like, oh, I'll get that one next time. And then you hit it and that rusty water comes out and you're like, oh, that couldn't have been that good. Nice to see the two trucks back in action. Yeah, it is. But the problem is the strong arm still isn't fixed. We're still having problems with it. They thought they fixed it, but they didn't fix it. Kevin, have you tried the Stars and Stripes? I have it still sitting on the box. Haven't had a chance to try it. I haven't tried the Stars and Stripes yet. That's something I'd like to try eventually when I have some more money. What's up, Brandy? Kind of cool today, only in the upper 80s. After today, though, it's supposed to be upper 90s to low triples for next 2 weeks. Going to be getting calls about truck ACs in the older ones. Yeah. Wayne, I have it cuts washing my dump truck in half. Holy cow. What I really want to get is a hot seat. That would really make my pressure washing go much more effective. You know, that's another thing. Yeah. Well, good luck. Hopefully it gets fixed good for you guys. I was telling Jacob he should take the money you guys got and you should pay off your mortgage. You guys definitely got enough to do that, and then you don't. Then that's one less thing you have to worry about. That'd be sweet. That's what I would do. Oh, yep, got both my beauties. Both my beauties here today. Feels so good, man. This one, this bad boy right here, sitting tall as usual. The guy always had to get fixed with us here to actually have a complete hot shower finally. Gotcha there, Kevin. I know Chemex has emailed me about feedback on their product. Look at those meats. I ain't getting stuck in anybody's yard with those. Trailer's disconnected and ready to rock and roll for Monday. I gotta take this to the dump. Ugh, a bunch of garbage. Yeah, those are nice tires, man. Those things. The thing is Justin has a point. The open shoulder ones don't last as long. Yes. But the traction is so much superior. Oh yeah, that's totally fine. You can use the speech to text. I do that all the time. One thing I'd like to see. These this one doesn't have any grease zerks on it, but it doesn't really need them because it's open. The dirt can fall out and stuff. I would think this system right here needs grease zerks. Oh, really? You'll burn the paint? Oh, that's good to know. I wish these were greasable. I mean, dirt gets in there and just slides right down in there. Probably. Who knows? The Mac tarps have grease zerks. Oh, well, good for Mac. At least I know they're doing something right. Also, a lot of you guys don't know, we had to replace a section of these tarp arms. So that section right there got bent. I had to replace both of those. And let me put it this way. I modified the tarp. Let me show you. Ooh, my wife brought me some pizza. Give me a second, honey. I want to show them something. So I was having a problem. Okay, so you see where the tarp sits now? Right on top of this. So before, the tarp was sitting right about here. And the loader guy would dump dirt right on top of the tarp, and it would pile up underneath this covering. And so I'm like, okay, I'm going to fix that. So I extended this just a smidge, right? So it would come up further, like see where it sits now. Just barely clears the ladder, but sits up far enough that dirt can't get dumped down into that crack right there. But now, the problem is the tarp, when it goes back, it goes over the other end of the tailgate and gets stuck. So I added 2 little wings. Let me show you the wings I added. You can see the 2 little wings. Now the tarp sits right on those little wings that are poking up right there. Kind of cool. Painted them, welded them up. So now the tarp sits right on those. Pretty sweet. Just tuning in the fine little details, guys. Anyways, it's my lunchtime, so I'm gonna catch you guys on the next one. I'm gonna get cleaned up, park the dump truck, and me and my son are gonna go do some fishing probably. So I'm looking forward to that. He's been wanting to go fishing, so that's gonna be super fun. Love spending time with a little booger. Anyways, guys, don't forget to pound that like button, pound that subscribe button, as always, and I will catch you guys on the next one. And have fun installing grease zerks on your equipment. And this is Brian VANDUYN signing out, and I'll catch you on the next one.